Hey everyone, what's up? It's Raylo from KidneyPuncher.com, here to bring you a product review of the new SDNA 200 with an authentic Evolv DNA 200 chip in it. So, before I go any further, let's go ahead and jump down up close and show you how this thing works. All right, so here we go in up close mode with the SDNA 200 with the Evolv DNA 200 chip. Let's go ahead and go over some of the menu options that you have and how to use this device properly. So first things first, let's go ahead and hit the power button. It's going to say check atomizer because, of course, I don't have an atomizer on here at the moment. But let's go ahead and show you some of the features that you have with this device. So first things first, easiest thing to do, if you want to lock your power button and lock your up and down button at the same time, all you have to do is 5 clicks of the fire button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're nice and locked. As you can see, none of these buttons will work. All right, and of course to get out of lock, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you can fire again. Your up and down buttons work. If you want to just lock your up and down buttons, all you need to do is just hold them both down at the same time. There we go. Now our up and down buttons are locked. So next thing, as it already did, when you have your up and down buttons locked and you press up or down on here, you will see you go into profiles. So my first profile will be profile 1, which is standard. The standard profile is when you're just in wattage mode and you're using a Canthal build, Nichrome build, stuff like that. But as you continue through, you have your standard 1, and I'm going backwards. The second profile I have on here is for the Sweet Spot TI wire, 0.5 millimeter. I have another one for Sweet Spot TI wire at 0.4 millimeters. Then I also have profile 4, which I have set for nickel, profile 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you can set as many profiles as you want for all the different types of vape that you plan on doing. So let's go ahead and show you some other options here. Oh, and before I continue, so say we want to use this one and we want to lock it in, just hit the fire button and that takes you there. So if we go into standard and I hit this, you see the Fahrenheit goes away because now we're just in power mode and it's set to 70 watts. But let's go ahead and go back to my TI wire since that's the build I'm using. So next thing, if you want to go into stealth mode, what you need to do first is lock your fire button, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're locked, and then you hit fire and down at the same time. So you see normal mode, stealth mode. So now you have nothing showing up on your screen. Your buttons still work, even though they're locked at the moment. So of course you would unlock that to use it, and it won't show up on your screen. Of course, to turn it right back on, same process, fire and down, back into normal mode where you see everything on the screen. Now to lock your resistance in, all you need to do with that is the fire button and the up button. So now my resistance is locked in, which is very beneficial, especially in temperature control mode where the heat can change the resistance on your coil. And of course, to get rid of this, hold this fire button and up, and now you're just back to regular. Now, the one thing, if you want to turn your screen around, you can't do that on the mod itself. That you would have to use in eScribe, and that's a whole nother tutorial. I'll put the description down below to the eScribe software, and you can watch the tutorials on there to show you all the different things that the DNA 200 board can do. Basically, that's how you use this device in all of its settings. You have your USB for charging, to connect to eScribe, and to update your firmware. Down here at the bottom, you have your vent holes. Back, very plain, nothing there. Side, nothing there. And of course, you have your 510 connection with a spring-loaded pin right here on the top. Buttons, as you can hear, are nice and clicky. So you have nice clicky buttons. There's no rattling, no shaking anywhere when I move this device around. Very, very well made. So let's go ahead and go back into FaceTime, vape on it, and talk about it. All right, guys, so we're back from up close mode with the SDNA 200 by SMY. Now let's go ahead and talk about some specs here. But before I do that, let me go ahead and take a vape. This is with Sweet Spot Vapers 0.5 Ti wire, and this is a 0.17 at 60 watts and 420 degrees. Let me go ahead and show you up close what this looks like. Okay, so here's the screen. This is in temperature control mode, and I'll show you exactly what happens when you fire it. So you can see your temperature goes up, and it says temperature protected once it maxes out at your highest temperature. And it's actually keeping flashing at that. But you can see the voltage and temperature change real time while you're firing it. So that's a big plus. But now let's talk about specs. First things first, let's look at this one. So this is the black version with the carbon fiber and the aluminum. This aluminum on the black version comes in a matte finish. So nice, it's not going to be a fingerprint magnet or anything like that. Feels really nice on the hand as well. Now the red version is more of a glossy type paint finish, which is similar to how you can see the shine on the carbon fiber here. So that's the main difference between the red one and the black one. Other than that, they are completely identical. Battery on this, it's a 1600 mAh 3S lipo pack. Maximum amperage is 56 amps. This does have balanced charging. And one cool thing, when you go into eScribe, you can set what your screen looks like in charging mode. So the way that I have mine set up in charging mode is, instead of where you see the ohms and the voltage and temperature, it is now giving me the voltage of each individual battery in that lipo pack, which is very beneficial, especially for me. So that way I could see if one of my batteries isn't charging as well as the other ones, or is draining faster than the other ones, and I know that there's an issue going on. So that's a big plus for me. The wattage, you can go from 1 watt all the way up to 200 watts in 0.1 watt increments. So I just double checked just to be sure. And yes, from 1 all the way up to 200 in 0.1 watt increments. So you get the whole spectrum all the way up to the top, which is another big plus. When it comes to your resistance, standard resistance in just plain wattage mode is anywhere from a 0.1 to a 2 ohm build. And in temperature control mode, it's anywhere from 0.08 ohms to 1 ohms. Temperature range goes anywhere from 200 to 600 degrees Fahrenheit and 100 to 300 degrees Celsius. As you've seen, it has the nice large OLED screen, and size, this is 93.5 by 51.5 by 25 millimeters. So if you look here at the top, you do have these beveled edges. So if you do put a 25 millimeter device, you are going to get some overhang, but with a 22 millimeter device, it sits on there right at the lip of that bevel and looks fantastic in my opinion. But a 25 millimeter device would equally look as nice. You would just have a slight bit of overhang where the bevels are on the side. So let's go ahead and talk about what I like about this product. Buttons. The buttons on this, nice and clicky. Probably hear that, maybe. All of the buttons are. There's zero rattle whatsoever. Very well machined. You actually don't really see much of any seams other than a slight seam that's around this front edge here. The carbon fiber placement on the front of this device looks really sharp and clean. The way that they put their logo and name on there, which almost feels like it's embedded in the glossiness. You have these nice little accents right here. And just overall, a very, very well machined box mod. And top that off, it has a 200 watt DNA chip in there. What more could you possibly ask for? 510 connection, the spring-loaded 510 connection's been flawless, works perfect. The machining on this, again, is just outstanding. USB port looks very clean, nice, perfectly put in there. Just about everything I can say about this device makes me very happy. And on top of that, you're not going to be paying an arm and a leg for this. This is not some $300 DNA 200 device. This is definitely budget friendly for DNA 200 users. It's not very big. See, in comparison to, say, an IPv3, you can see this DNA 200 device is much smaller. and much more powerful and has way more options than anything else out there right now. When it comes to the DNA boards themselves, they've pretty much set the standard when it comes to temperature control, when it comes to wattage. You know, if you have this set at 60 watts, you are getting a true 60 watt hit whenever you push that button. So in my opinion, DNA Evolv 200 chip, one of the best chips out there. And you can get it in this nice enclosure with these nice buttons and the nice 510 and get all of those wonderful things that come with the DNA board in the SDNA 200. All right, you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this informed you a little bit about the new SDNA 200. And I'm Rattle from kidneypuncher.com. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, vape on.